industries all over. The meeting allows us a very good opportunity today to strengthen our existing partnership by forging our new connections and collective works that we are looking forward to work on together in the near future to achieve our common goals. In the dynamic and the evolving business landscape, the relation we have built up is very vital for Excel family. Our partnership has always represented an excellence in innovation and mutual growth of all the industries overall. As we all are aware that Excel has started in 2009, and from 2009 it has successfully penetrated into the market of ethanol industry, and we have got a benefit market industry, and towards we have been able to reach towards the turnover of 2,000 crores by today. So we really thank a lot for each and every stakeholder, employee, each and every vendor, supplier, and all the connected people with our business, with our company, with our offices, and in all possible means and all possible efforts that they are given with the 100% efforts in this industry to grow up and support us in all the ways. This vision is possible only because of the dynamic and the vision-oriented leadership of our Honorable Shri CMD Sir, Mr. Sanjay Desai, who has always been fostering innovation, who has always been trying to build up this industry, and has always given time to time guidelines to each and every team members of ours, and supported us and guided us in going to the goal that we have achieved today. I would like to request Honorable CMD Sir to join us on the stage, and we will continue with the further function. So before starting the function, we will start the function with the national anthem. So I request everyone to be ready for the national anthem. Jai. Followed to the national anthem, let's go ahead with the Deep Prajwalan event. I would request all the ladies employees to join us on the stage. Yeah. So I request all the ladies from the employees and the guests, everyone please, ladies, guests, please arrive on the stage for the Deep Prajwalan.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Vipul, for all the good words. And I would like to thank all of you again for coming here and taking active part. It's basically a get-together to appreciate, recognize all your efforts to, help us expanding the ethanol industry in India. So thank you all. So today we have invited all the technology partners, vendors, right from the first section of the plant to the final product area, including our transporters, logistic companies, then the workshop vendors, then steel manufacturers, tube manufacturers, bought-out vendors, power plant vendors, then water, wastewater treatment vendors. Everyone is here. I am very thankful not only for making this event a very big success, but also for all their contribution to ethanol industry and to Regreen-Excel. Thank you very much. So my job given by Vipul and my team is to introduce all the key people of our company who have been interacting with all of you. So this is just to introduce and show the face. So I'd like to invite Tushar Patil to the stage. So he is our technical director. He is one of the best design engineers of the ethanol industry in the world. So at a very young age, so he has been responsible for almost more than 50% of the ethanol produced in India through his design and innovations. So in this team, I would like to invite Pallavi Desai. So she is a new addition to our company. So she is going to look after all the new technology developments, new product developments, new vendor developments, also the diversification. That is her role. Then I would like to invite Lina Madam. She is our purchase head, especially looking after all the bought-outs. And we have one very senior gentleman, Manjunath. He is a technical expert of the power plant. So this is the team who are going to help us and help you in trying to build much better plants than what we did so far. So, okay, next batch. Next batch, I would like to invite our manufacturing team, Rokesh. Rokesh is a very good mechanical designer. So when we started our journey, there were 12 equipment items which were imported. So Rokesh is the one who is instrumental in designing and delivering a lot of imported equipments in Pune. So that is his contribution. So his deputy, Mr. Shellar, he couldn't come today because of some personal issues. And I would like to invite Chetan and Asif. So these are assisting Rokesh. So they are all dealing with all the manufacturing of evaporators, distillation column, dryers, a lot of equipment. So we have delivered already more than 10,000 equipment without any failure. So Asif and Chetan. So all this team will be, interacting with all of you for the different materials, steel material, MS material, carbon steel, bearings and tubes and things like that. So they are the actual users. So from our side. Okay, thank you. So then next I would like to invite Kiran Gowli. He is the project director and his team. So they are the one who are helping us to install all the equipment, machineries supplied by you and also manufactured by us. And his team, he is a director. He has got 25 years experience in project management and construction. And Abba Sahib, Vipul, Gadpale, Dilip Jadhav, Sachin and Sushant. So they are part of project team. So when it comes to the dispatches, installation and commissioning and after sales, so this is the team which will be interactive with all of you. So thank you. Then Ashutosh Singh, he is our director. He is looking after all the civil works and also to some extent. And I would like to invite Sagar Rawat. So they're all from the Mr. Maji. So they're all from the civil and structural side mainly. So because today everyone is afraid of doing civil works, even in Pune or in Mumbai. But whereas we have been doing very easily civil works in very difficult terrains like Philippines or in Bihar, West Bengal, Jharkhand, Telangana. So this is the team who is doing it. So they will be interacting with all of you for a lot of these civil related, GA drawing related issues. Yeah, thank you so much. Then finally our commercial team, Syed and Mr. Ashish Malpani. Mr. Ashish Malpani is our CA. He is also part of Regreen-Excel family. And Syed Alumuddin is my good friend since 1990. So we have been together, whatever we have done, so we have done. He is partner in crime, you can say. So they are looking after all the commercial matters. So, and any payment related issues, you can have a chat with them today. So, thank you very much. Then we have some regional project managers today. We had some project, progress reviews. So coincidentally, they are here. I would like to invite them one by one. So Ashish Tiwari, so he is looking after all the Bihar and the East UP projects as a project leader. Jaswant Chauhan is looking after all the UP projects. Then Sirish Nallan, he is looking after all the West Bengal projects, West Bengal, Jharkhand. Saddam is there, he is looking after all the Karnataka project. Then we have Sandeep Chandole, he is looking after all the Maharashtra projects. We have Ashik Shetty, he is looking after all the Tamil Nadu projects. We have a regional project coordination and execution concept where they live near those projects, nearby cities, and they manage 7 to 8 projects. This will help us to, expedite the project. Then we have some technical commissioning stalwarts like Raju Shindure, Virendra Yadav, Dil Nawaz, then Santosh Singh. So whatever we design, whatever we deliver, and whatever we procure from you, they are the one who are responsible to hand over it to the plant. So they have almost 60 to 80 people for them, and they are the one who are actually making the designs look very nice. So thank you so much. Yeah. So thank you for your patience. So now I'll just give you a very brief presentation. So depending on your interest, so we can prolong that. It's very flexible. Then basically my idea is to give you insight and about what is happening in the industry. Then what is the work we have done. So this is the ethanol molecule, which many of you may be aware, especially those who are having chemistry and chemical engineering background. So this is the molecule which is inspiring a lot of people. Initially it was for the customer, then it was the inspiration for people like us and you, then government agencies. Now this is actually inspiring the farmers of India and their children. So with this ethanol implementation program, now one can see that almost 50-60% of the farmers have been benefited in terms of increasing their income. So this is really a great game changer for Indian farmers. That is what we feel. Then these are, I don't know whether you are able to see. So Emax is our technology. So of course we score very good numbers in all the areas of technology development in terms of efficiency, heat integration, heat reduction, then quality and water, everything. Then ethanol, we have various categories of ethanol. We have E20, now we have E20, that means 20% blend in the petrol. So that is called E20. Then we can go up to E80. Then we have E100 also, but of course it is actually E95 because we need 5% gasoline to make it burn. Then the latest is SAF, Sustainable Aviation Fuel. This is actually a blend of ethanol, biodiesel, and many other aviation fuels. So this is going to be used in all the airlines all over India in times to come. Then this ethanol can be used in, the automobile. Everyone knows aviation fuel. It can be used in three-wheelers. We can even think of using ethanol in diesel generators instead of diesel. It can be used. So there are quite a few experiments have been done. So apart from the ethanol, we are also trying to get into CBG, green hydrogen, then green methanol and CO2 to ethanol. This is going to be a huge business in times to come. Then as already Vipul has explained, we started in 2009 and 2014 onwards we became a EPC, technology EPC company. So our turnover in 2014 probably was 1 crore. Now this year with all your support, with all the industry support and our team support, so we are able to grow to 2000 crore in 5-6 years. And then Emax is our in-house technology, indigenously developed. So we want to become global leader in sustainable and environment-friendly technologies. So these are our references. We set up almost 171 plants. In the last 4-5 years, there were out of around 300 plus plants. So this is our achievement. And almost 50% of ethanol produced in India today is coming out of our plants. Then we also decided to get into biomass power plants for the ethanol industry, because earlier people were using coal to generate steam and power. So 100 KL plant was consuming almost 100 tons of coal. So we decided this is not the way, burning coal and producing ethanol. Instead we can sell petrol, doing nothing. But we decided to talk to a lot of boiler companies like Chima, Thermas, KCP, EasyJet, and we offer a different biomass technology, boiler technology to our customers. We are successful in convincing customer, getting the plants installed and commissioned based on this. We also diversified into water, wastewater treatment for the ethanol industry. So we have almost more than 50 references now. So these are our latest facilities. So we have 9 to 10 workshops in Chakan area in Pune. We also set up workshops in Ghaziabad, in Durgapur. So these are our highlights in terms of the achievements. So earlier, 4-5 years ago, average capacity of Indian ethanol plant was 100 KL. So now we have built quite a few 800 KL plants, 500 KL plants. Then we have optimized the steam and power. We have also increase the capacity of individual equipments. So instead of having multiple equipment, we can build bigger dryers, bigger evaporators. And we use 3D softwares. This is our growth. Then see, all this is also possible because of one gentleman everyone knows. So our beloved Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji. So I happened to interact with him in 2006 when he was second time CM of Gujarat. So that time, directly or indirectly, we made some presentation on ethanol. So very next day, he had cleared almost 10,000 acres of land for one of the investors in Gujarat. So on a single window clearance. So within 24 hours, we are at site taking all the measurements of the site. So this is the kind of a speed he was working. So actually when 2014 came, when he was elevated to central, that is the time people like us decided to have patience and try to work on the ethanol. So this is the very big story. And the government has given a lot of support. They have made it mandatory to use 20%. Every liter of petrol should contain 20%, whether it is coming from PSUs or whether it is coming from the private oil marketing companies like Reliance or Naira. Now it is mandatory. They have increased the prices of ethanol. So in 2014, the prices were 27 rupees average. Now they are average 65, 70 rupees. So this is the kind of a jump they have given in the prices. And they also made oil companies invest in blending and the disposable facilities for ethanol, blended fuels. Then environment clearances used to take 1.5 years. Now they are taking 2 months, 3 months. So this is what they have done. And they also offer a lot of interest subvention on capex. Then they also give a lot of buyback arrangement through PSUs for standalone green ethanol plants. Then all the banks are told to take this ethanol project seriously and appraise and sanction the loans in quick time. Then flex fuel, automobile promotion and diesel mix, these are the newer initiative by the government. So definitely all this will lead to a lot of expansion of the ethanol industry. So basically the key driving factor is the petrol or gasoline consumption. So 2021 we had roughly around 27 metric million tons per annum of petrol. Now it is going to go up to 41 by 2030. So this is considering the introduction of the EVs. So of course, we used to have 7 to 8% petrol consumption growth every year. So they factored a few years ago that EVs will come and they will eat away some market share. Then the petrol consumption will come down to 3 to 4%. But that has not happened. That is not going to happen. So now still the petrol consumption is still high, 7 to 8%. It remains same. EVs are only about 1% of all the cars sold last year. So there are a few challenges, as you all know, like to charge the EVs, we still use electricity generated out of fossil fuel. This is one big disadvantage for India. So we don't have renewable electricity, so that we can call it as a green source of automobile. Then secondly, if you have to make one battery, so you have to dig almost 1500 cubic meter of earth to get cobalt, to get lithium, everything. So that 1500 cubic meter per battery, that itself will emit so much of carbon that battery will never be able to reduce or save that much of carbon throughout the life of its life, about 5 to 10 years. So I really do not know why the Western countries are going after EV, but again, you will have a lot of issues with the disposal of EVs. That is going to create a big environmental hazard. So we are not concerned as far as India is concerned. So EVs will be there only in some cities, some tourist spots, and they will not take away any market share of the ethanol or petrol cars. So of course, when you multiply to 20% of the petrol consumption, we end up 1,000 crore. So we are now having 700 crore production. So this 1,000 crore also is going to 1,600 crore. If you had potable alcohol consumption, you add green chemical consumption. So actual consumption of ethanol or alcohol is 1,600 crore. So we are just producing 700, 800 crore as of now. So the ethanol industry has to double. Of course, these are the states where green states are producing more ethanol and alcohol, and still there are quite a few states where you don't have much ethanol. So when it comes to the feedstock, so Indian government right from the day one, 4-5 years ago, they have decided that they should get 50% from the sugar industry through sugarcane, through molasses, another 50% from the grain, broken rice or excess rice or the maize. So they always try to balance it so that the inflation of sugar and inflation of food will not be very high. So if you balance that, then there won't be any inflation. Of course, this is about the petrol car sale. So if you can see, 2020 we had only 20 lakhs cars sold. Now 2030 it will become 41. So actually this graph doesn't talk about the capacity of the petrol engine. So whatever we know that now people are opting for a bigger car engines, bigger power and bigger models. So that will lead to a lot of increase in the petrol consumption. So this is the flex fuel. Sri Gadkari ji is a godfather of our industry, everyone knows. So he's been instrumental in bringing new ideas and new implementation schemes related to our industry. And we also have now WagonR, and also TVS has already launched a two-wheeler based on ethanol. So these are going to increase the demand for ethanol. And these are the prices. Very recently, after they decided to have a quota on sugarcane ethanol, so they decided to increase the rate of maize ethanol by around almost 5 rupees. These are all unprecedented figures. So in India, we have the highest ethanol prices in the world. Even in the US or in the Thailand, we don't have these prices. So then investor can still make almost 20% out of ethanol production. So for us and for you, now with all the government support and the industry support, so we are asked to design higher capacity plants. You will find that the plant capacities are going to go up. So when we are asking for say 100 NB control wall, now the same customer will ask for a 300 NB control wall. Similarly for cooling towers, boilers. Of course, boilers, there is some very interesting observation we have made, so that I'll explain later. So basically the capacities are going to go up. Then we should all gear up to produce bigger size equipment and machinery. So earlier we used to do say 2-meter distillation column. Now we are doing 4.5 meters diameter distillation column. Similarly for pumps, we are buying 1000 meter cube. Now we are asked to buy 2000, 3000 meter cube per hour pumps. So everyone, this is going to be there. Only in power plant, since we are reducing the steam consumption, so the capacities are going down. So, but the pressures are going to go up. So, because we need the same power. So there will be some changes. So we already started building different specification of the power plants. So similarly now ZLD is a norm, so nobody can really delay any further or manipulate. So they can't throw a single drop of liquid outside their premises. So then the safety norms are also quite stringent. Then everyone expecting a higher level of automation. There are few customers, they wanted us to build a Google car kind of a plant, where instead of 40 manpower today, they don't want to use a single operator. So these are the challenges from time to time customers are throwing. So there are a lot of opportunities for all of us to really innovate and come out with some solutions. Even including AI will be very soon coming in our industry. People are already started talking about AI along with the automation. So, and also one more very big change that has happened in our industry is, so a lot of the ethanol projects were owned by liquor manufacturers or sugar companies. Now you can see that a lot of other diversified groups like IT groups, cement mill owners, steel mill owners, chemical manufacturers, they're all getting into ethanol in a big way. So almost 50% of our order booking is from the new companies who are willing to diversify and invest. They're all coming with the new ideas, new understanding about how the factory should be built. So this is a very interesting and great challenge for all of us. So Emax is our technology. So of course, like when you talk about high efficiency, we earlier there were no mandate of ZLD. Nobody bothered about water, how much water and what energy. So people talk about high quality and high efficiency. Whereas when we came in, because ultimately ethanol price is paid by either by the consumer or by the government. So if the ethanol cost of production is higher, so eventually government will say, so I can do only subsidy for 10% or 15%. Later on, I don't want to do, I don't want to subsidize. Then the consumer also will say, if it goes to 120 rupees, then we all start complaining that we don't want this ethanol. So basically, we realized in the beginning of our journey itself that unless we have a technology which can reduce the operating cost, at the same time complying with all the parameters required by the industry, like low energy, practically ZLD, low water footprint, then we designed the Emax technology itself to really take care of everything. So that's how we are able to build new plants with very low OPEX. We can very easily commit that, if they go with our technology, we can reduce the OPEX by 20%. So now OPEX was earlier, it was to be 15 rupees, 16 rupees a liter. With our case, we already brought it to 12 rupees. So now we are working on the technologies to bring it to 10 rupees. So these are the things which will, bring in more and more investment. So that is what we are doing. So this is one example how we reduce the steam consumption. So now we are half as compared to 2015. Then these are our latest benchmarks. These are actually few European companies are investing in India with the JV. Recently we got a project with Jivari Agro. They have a JV with Envion in Slovakia. So they operate a 2000 KL plant. So they're one of the largest plants in Europe. So they came and they did a lot of due diligence, comparison studies, everything for almost 3 months. Then finally they said that, Emax is better than what technology they use in Europe. And so then they already placed the order on us for Indian project, and they are inviting us to look at their plant. So as an Indian, I'm very proud that, all of us together, including my competition, including all the institute, we are able to develop a technology which is considered as the best in the world. So to achieve all these better performance norms, we are using a lot of newer systems. MER is one mechanical vapor compressor. This is used as a compressor or a heat pump. This can help us to reduce the energy. Similarly, air core condenser. Earlier, we used to consume about 10 liters of water for 1 liter of ethanol. Now we have come down to 4.5 with all these techniques. We also use membrane bioreactors to help us to recycle a lot of water and also reduce the water consumption. So we also, with the help of Thermax and Chima, mainly Thermax, so we are able to deliver biomass-fired boilers. We are using a lot of, difficult biomass like mustard husk or cotton stalk, bamboo. So Mr. Anil Jami is one of the experts, so he has been very helpful to us also. So this is a solution which is required for the industry. So we are taking a lot of risk with Mr. Heman Joshi sir, and we are trying to build quite a few projects. So hopefully the industry will adopt this concept very soon, so that we can truly call ethanol as a green fuel rather than we call it as a 20% green or 15% green. So this is a typical distillery, so I will just skip some of these slides. So anyway, this presentation will be shared with you, all of you. So these are different feedstock. Those who are not aware, we have basically 3 types of feedstock. One is sugar containing, second is starch containing, third is a cellulosic. So sugar containing is basically beet sugar, sugar cane, then a byproduct of sugar industry, molasses. And for starch, you have corn, you have wheat also in some countries. You have tapioca, you have broken rice. Then cellulosic, you all know, any wood material, agricultural residue is all cellulosic. So these are some statistics. So if you do, say, 1 ton of cane, how much it will give ethanol and molasses. So I'll skip this, then you can take this. These are some statistics based on our plant experience. So 2G is one interesting subject worldwide. So we, in India, we started working on 2G from 1985. In NCL, there were quite a few scholars who were working on bagasse to alcohol. So I was fortunate to work under one guide in 1990 during my MTech. So Dr. Aruna Joglekar. So she was our mentor and guide. So we worked in Karnataka, sitting in Karnataka, we worked on bagasse to alcohol. So since then, a lot of countries, a lot of technology providers, institute, they have been working. So today, unfortunately, there were 27 plants built worldwide, 25 are NPA, because, this is a very big negative story. So even in India also, people have tried, but the capex is quite high. Almost, if you need 100 crore for 100 KL 1G plant, you need 1200 crore for the 2G. Then your operating processing cost, instead of 10-12 rupees, it is 60 to 70 rupees. So only for government, since these are all CSR projects, so people will venture and invest. It has happened in Brazil, it has happened in US, in Germany, everywhere. So now only 2 plants are operating. 1 plant in Germany, because their communities have to deliver the trash, agriculture residue, and pay for the processing, because they can't burn it as per the law. So that plant is operating as a sort of a CSR. And US also there is 1 company working, 1 plant. So that is because it is byproduct of the paper industry. Already a lot of pre-treatment costs, everything is already taken care in the paper industry, and it is actually a waste treatment plant. So otherwise almost 25 plants as per, it is on record. So you can Google it, you will find. So basically why I am trying to highlight this is, instead of 2G, we all should look at some other feedstock like corn or sweet sorghum, which is relevant for Indian context. Then we can get better success with these rather than spending so much of money, billions of rupees in trying to develop 2G. So almost 30 years people have really failed to do it. So corn is one new feedstock. It is actually very old in US, but in India it has become a very latest addition to our government thought process. So government is going to encourage corn ethanol production more than sugarcane or more than the rice. So basically with corn you have a lot of opportunities. You can separate out. Of course, these are the statistics of how much corn is grown. Actually, to do E10, almost half of it, so whatever corn we have in India, whatever we can cultivate, that is good enough. So beyond E20, we have to look at more cultivation of corn. So with corn, one can also look at a lot of byproduct like corn oil separation with trichanters, then even the dry germinators. So a lot of things can be looked at. And corn cob to perfluol is another opportunity. So there is one company in Gujarat, they are already doing it with us. They want to produce perfluol and also aromatic products. Then they do the ethanol. So of course, right now, as you all know, even government also trying to control the food inflation, at the same time try to promote ethanol. So, but of course, there are a lot of opportunities, because in Indian ethanol industry is very, very new, I would say. In Brazil, they started in 1970s. In US, I think they started in 1960s. So in India, we can say we started only in 2010 or so. So we are just 12 years old babies. So there are a lot of opportunities. We can diversify in feedstock, in application, in chemicals, so byproducts. So there are plenty of opportunities for all of us to look at it and work, and also help the industry and make good business proposition out of it. So of course this is a future. So these are few plants we build. So we did 2 ethanol plants in Bihar, twin EPC plants including civil, and these are actually mirror image. So India Glycol is very aggressively pursuing green chemicals, like how we are trying to use ethanol to replace fossil fuel petrol. Similarly, in Europe and in Western countries, they are also trying to replace a lot of these chemicals produced out of naphtha and crude. So India Glycol is very aggressively promoting this concept, and they are already selling a lot of chemicals. They are doing almost 1000 KL total production to support their green chemical production. So this is the dryer we did make in India. This used to be imported from China and Turkey and Germany. So each dryer is about 100 tons, about 5 crore. So we decided just after COVID, we decided to do our own make in India. It's a very critical design and fabrication. So we have done more than 100 dryers now, almost 500 crore worth import we have stopped. So actually the spark was the war with China. So when there was a war in north, in Ladakh, so my team decided to do make in India. So that was more than the business and everything. So why Excel? As you know, this industry was monopolized by almost 40 years. So in last 4-5 years, we started competing and building plants on equal footing. So now we enjoy equal market share with the company, so which was monopolizing this industry. So the only reason because almost all the projects are in private demanding customers. We don't have much cooperative references or government projects. Then almost 50% of the business comes from the repeat customers. So the only reason is the technology and the service and approachability of the team. So this is the only reason. Otherwise, we don't have any other success mantra. Then what we did along with you, of course, the support given by all of you is also very instrumental. So initially when we started the business, because since we are new and when we are not having much things to talk, so a lot of you were also hesitant. A lot of vendors were not willing to buy our argument or speech that they will have to support. So but somehow most of you felt that this is the company that will come up. So almost all of you here have supported us. That is also a very crucial this one for us to grow. And not only we all made the industry to grow, and now the sustainability will also come from all of us. Everyone will contribute in some way, because now this is going to be the game of the technology. Government has done whatever they have to do. Then investors have believed in this policy and they have come forward and they have invested. Now the ball is in our court. You and us have to continuously work hard and try to innovate, try to reduce cost, reduce OPEX, then make this whole industry sustainable. So I'm very confident, if we work in that direction, so definitely we will not only help the industry sustain, grow, and also we will be able to, make a bigger business volumes this year, next year, next 4-5 years. So these are some numbers which I took it from my purchasing for the last 3 years. So almost, we did cumulative turnover of 4,500 till today in last 4-5 years. So that much, because our 70% is the material and bought out. The rest is, labor and then profit and overheads. So almost you can say 3,000 worth crore material we have purchased, and we have built plants, we have received the payment, we have given it to you. So our company, I always say to many of you that it is a very smooth flowing ATM. So whatever money comes, it goes to all of you. So there is no, even in ATM sometimes, some bigger note will get stuck, whereas in our company, it will not get stuck. So our, we are doing this for passion. So all the directors, owners, sorry, this is just keep going. So we are doing it for passion as a contribution to Indian economy, Indian farmer. And of course, we are also treating as a business. But at the end of the day, squeezing employees, squeezing, the laborers, squeezing vendors is not our main goal. So everybody should be paid what they deserve, what their product deserves. So that is an understanding we all have. So of course we can give you much more volume than before every time. Then we try to help you to reduce your cost. There is no marketing cost. I have not seen a single catalog of any one of you. So that much savings you have. So we are only asking, wherever we are helping, so you should help us with some good price. So that is the only expectation. Then see, next 3 years now I have given a very conservative figures. Now export is going to open up because we already have signed the Global Biofuel Alliance. Recently we took one project in Latin America. So that is coming only because of this Global Biofuel Alliance, which was started very recently during G20. So we have a lot of interesting things to look for. And export will be huge because every country is going to have the same reason for doing the ethanol. So one is for foreign exchange reduction, then of course their farmers, then net carbon zero. So all those will be there as a key driving factor for every country. Today, if you see what happened in Sri Lanka, if they had implemented ethanol 10 years ago, which they started and then they stopped, they would not have been in mess for the last 1 to 2 years. So the whole growth is stopped. So now every country is aware, and there is a very big delegation is coming next month from Africa, almost 7-8 countries, to learn about the ethanol in India. So we have already have some active interaction and inquiries from those countries. So definitely we all can take lead, and we can take from the GBA, then we can try to grow export business. So these are our expectations. We just need technology, quality and delivery, of course you have been doing. Then technical support and supervision support is what we need, because we are positioning ourselves as a technology EPC company. So when we buy your product, ultimately we also lack a little bit of technical know-how or expertise to commission it as efficient as your team. So we'll continuously look at these things. Innovation is the need of the hour. So if any one of you have an innovative product which you cannot sell because some customer or a consultant is not approving, so we can take the initiative and we try to help you to implement quickly. So always we are open for new ideas, new technology, new products. So after sales support, this is going to be a huge business, not only the requirement of the industry, because we have already implemented altogether, we have implemented 400 plants. So 400 plant, one can imagine if you replace 10 mechanicals every year, so every month, so how much will be the business for all of you. So these are all there. Then of course we can give you a greater business volume. We are also working with a lot of companies where they are coming from the different industry, like for example Kripco. Now all my vendors have the right to talk to them about their fertilizer industry supplies. So it's a natural, because we have already introduced your product. Once it gets commissioned, so their team will also accept your product. So these are the indirect benefits. So of course these are our new projects. So actually with all these negative sentiments coming from here and there, but the real investors are still going ahead with their project, and they are very keen that they will implement much more projects than last year. So we have some very big breakthrough projects recently awarded to us. So and another thing is, since we all worked in this industry for a long time, so we know how to select the customer. It is not that customers are going to select us, so we are going to select customers every time. When we were a small company also, we are doing the same. Now also we are doing the same. So we will not take any project which we think that they will go on a hold or they will get postponed. So we do a very strong due diligence. So we protect our interest. Back to back, we protect your interest. In case if there is any inventory build-up, so we have so many projects where we can take those inventory and dispatch to other sites. So we will not put you in any of the issues. So that is our commitment. So this is all I want to say. And of course our plans, we want to continue to increase our domestic market share, then modernize technology upgradation, this is going to come. So we already started getting projects built by others recently to improve the technology, reduce the steam power. We have few examples already. So this is going to be a huge business for all of us. Then many small projects will be going for a bigger project. Even the government banks are also now encouraging the existing plants to expand, double the capacity. Then exports, all 5 continents are open to us. So diversification, then many other newer products like hydrogen, methanol, CO2 capture, all these are in card. So as compared to independent technology providers for methanol, hydrogen, CO2, so we personally believe that we can integrate with ethanol production. Then it will be much more feasible and much more lucrative for the investor to invest. So we are not going to go after independent hydrogen plants or independent CO2 plants. So these are some CSR activity we do. So we just recently formed Ethanol and Biofuel Technologists Association. So there was no dedicated association so far in India. We had sugar associations, we had distillery associations, but for ethanol and biofuel, there was not a single association. So we have just started, then we'll be requesting all of you to join. This is purely a no business, no profit kind of a activity. So we will send you all the invitation. So thank you very much for your patience. So if anyone of you have any questions, so I'm happy to answer. So because a lot of you keep calling me or keep meeting me for understanding the industry. If you have any doubts, so we can discuss and I'm happy to answer. So maybe during cocktail or after cocktail.
Yeah, hi Sanjay. Glad to be here. Great presentation.
Yeah.
And I think your Make in India was something which really felt us very proud. Two questions on the industry itself.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, there have been a little bit of, some concerns on the growth which we had been having over the past 2-3 years. With the intent to reach the goal of 20% by 2025, there seems to be a slight dip in the percentage as of now.
Yeah.
I hope it's a temporary blip.
Yeah.
Just one question, will this growth in this industry sustain to meet the goal, the Indian government's goal, one. The second is again related to the same thing with the availability of biomass and the availability of the input raw material, the grains and all. Will it sustain or will it have some challenges going forward?
So, thank you very much, sir. Like I try to explain, this industry is very young in India, just 10 years old. So, if you see the history of Brazil and US, first 1 or 2 decades, they were also having to go through the same situation. So, they try to come out with certain policies, then they end up in a rough water. Then they have to again modify their policy at the government level. So, even in Brazil, it took almost 25 years to reach E25. Then again, it took 10 more years to get into E85 or E95. So US also, some state they started very aggressively, then they have to withdraw. And some state where they had a lot of maize or corn, so then they have some advantage, they have GMO. So ultimately everybody will go through the same, because everybody has to come up with their own produce. Like technology providers have to come out with technology. Then investors have to come out with their investment. Government has to come out with their own subsidy numbers. Then the farmers have to come out with the crop. So eventually the price of ethanol or price of what the industries will pay to the farmers, that will decide. So fortunately in India, if you see last 1 decade, even though petrol prices are going up very high, nobody is really bothered. I don't see a single rollback or the strike in last 1 decade about the increase in the petrol price. That way the government is comfortable and we are comfortable. That is taken care. Then when it comes to the market, today we are able to achieve E12 in the last year. This year we may not do it because of the drought and because of the less cane or less rice. But eventually government is also trying to promote corn, maize. So earlier the maize prices were 16,000 rupees average. Now this month they already reached 22,000. So 6,000 rupees more per ton of maize will lead to more cultivation of maize. Because today the smartest community in India is the farming community. So today you don't need to, talk all these numbers. So they themselves will know, because I come from Karnataka. Today if you go to Karnataka, a lot of people have removed other crops and they have replanted maize already. So this is, we built almost 7 to 8 plants on maize. When the FCI rice was withdrawn, so we thought that, within 10 days all these plants will shut down. But last 7 months, none of the plants are shut down. They are doing 10% more than what they are supposed to do. So eventually, we all will catch up with the, feedstock. Of course, the challenge is not the feedstock or the farmer's ability to produce more. Challenge is the water. So how much water is consumed? Today, if somebody will keep on promoting sugarcane will consume a lot of water. So all your groundwater disturbance will happen because of sugarcane. If somebody promotes maize, so then the water consumption is half. So these are the things now government is also understanding. They are trying to, produce. So I don't see because of feedstock there will be any roadblock. It's a temporary. So maybe, there was a big panic button was pressed with El Nino and with drought, with less, buffer stock of the food grains and sugar. So because of the election year. But once the election year is over, I think we will be back to normal. So in fact, last year we exported a lot of rice, we exported a lot of sugar. So if they stop exporting from next year, then we have enough feedstock to do E20. But the challenge for me is that we'll never be able to catch E20 because now with the increase of petrol consumption by 7 to 8, so 20% means every year we have 1.5%. 5 years it is 7.5. So India will never be able to catch up with E20. So 1 year we go near E19, then next year it becomes E21, 22. So that is the challenge. So in terms of investment, almost now we have investment up to E15 of today. So the last year. So now the next year, they need this 5% backlog, then they need another 3% for the next, these 2 years. That means 8% again, we need more investment. So I think this will balance out. So 1 year, definitely there are going to be some issues in terms of the production, not in terms of the investment, because already investment is planned and all the financial institute already dispersed their loans. So no investor wants to go back. In fact, more and more new investors are coming forward and asking us to build the plant. And the banks are ready to finance. Probably they have increased their equity. Instead of 10%, 15%, now they are asking 20, 25%. So I don't see after 1 year we'll have any deadlock in terms of the investment. So EV, honestly, EV was the only threat, which is already proven that it is not going to be the threat. So otherwise, we are very bullish. So we are expanding, we are investing. So then definitely we'll have a good time with this ethanol.
Yeah, thanks. And I'll take this opportunity to compliment the entire Regreen team. I think the growth that you have done over the past in a very short period of time is really commendable. I think we should all give a big hand to the entire Regreen team. Not only you are promoting the Make in India by making equipments here, but also by helping conserve the foreign exchange. Compliments and all the very best to you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Hello. Good evening, sir. My name is Sudhir Mutalik and I am founder of the company Positive Metering Pumps India Private Limited and also a proud supplier to your organization. At the outset, I am really thankful to you, thanks to your team for this invitation to this grand vendors meet. As the earlier gentleman said, we really appreciate the growth of this company and you are really an inspiring entrepreneur. And as an Indian, I am thankful to you, your company, your team for your great contribution in the Indian economy. My question is very simple. Is the conventional fuel business looking at you as a challenge? Because it's going to be the dent on their business by at least 20%. So is there any resistance from the big daddies, especially from the global market? And where do you, if not today, maybe in the future? So what's your view on this?
Yeah, so in Indian context, before 2000, so because this ethanol concept came in 1990s, then first 1 decade there was always different lobbies. There were 3 lobbies. So one is alcohol-based chemical manufacturers, second is the liquor lobby, and third is, of course, oil companies. Then there are a lot of people at the individual level. People are trying to, dilute a few of the, policies or incentives. But of course, it was only temporary for 10 years. But today, if you see, almost all the oil companies are investing in ethanol. We are doing quite a few projects for HPCL. So they themselves are investing in ethanol. So even Naira Energy is planning 3 projects. So Reliance, sooner or later, they will also come out with ethanol projects. So now those, even the liquor manufacturers also shifted from the molasses they have gone to grain. So these lobbies are now happy that everybody is finding their own alternatives in the on the space. So that resistance is not there in the Indian context, and government willpower is so strong. So the good thing they made was all these guys to invest in their facilities, so that once they invest, then they will also have to show the performance. So this is what has happened. So, but globally, few companies are trying to get the competing technology like shale gas is one. And Americans are really going after the shale gas. So instead of crude, they are trying to promote this gas, which is trapped between the crude and the natural gas, so which is more cleaner and leaner. So, but again, OPEC, so they exactly know what is the cost of this gas from the Americans. So they always try to keep their oil price so that the gas technology will not be implemented. So there is a lot of dynamics happening. But now what happened in Dubai very recently, so I think it is very encouraging that all these climate change activists and all the Gulf countries, they agreed to phase out the fossil fuel. So that is very interesting. So we hope that they will remain committed, and they will try to look at the oil is a main enemy for the damaging the environment. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, Sudhirji, for all your good words. Yeah.
Sir, this is. Hello. So this is Gaurav Verma. I represent Krishna Grains, and we are proudly associated with Excel Regreen. And first of all, big congratulations to you and entire team. It's a very inspiring journey.
Thank you very much, sir.
Truly from my heart, this is something which should be known by public at large, that so much work is happening, which people don't understand superficially when we look at public at large. So my question is, sir, that the general sentiment on ground in India, we are very emotional towards grain SA.
Yeah.
So while so much good work is happening, the public education on ground is not so much towards ethanol and how grain-based ethanol is going to turn around positively. Yeah. But there are some narratives that food is not there to eat, people are dying hungry, and why food is being used. So these kind of sentiments are directly associated with our culture and our background. Yeah. So while so much work is happening on ground, people, if you look at electorate or public in general, they are more aware about the EV part and not the ethanol part. Means when we are industry people, when we talk to people about E5 and E20, and people generally don't know anything. Yeah. So, and this is directly can be an impact when it comes to voters voting in election. This narrative can be used against the real cause. So, is there some initiative from the industry side or the government side to educate public and large and rope them in this initiative? And my second question is, sir, that finally, if somebody has to know on ground that if I am paying 110 rupees per liter for my petrol, will the ethanol-based fuel in future, when we reach a stage of E20 or E40, will there be a price factor affecting people positively on ground, which can be a very big momentum builder for the industry at large? So
yeah, Yeah, thank you very much, Vermaji. I think good that you asked these two questions. These are very controversial but relevant questions. So we fully agree that food cannot be converted to fuel, because when we say the needs of the people, mankind, is FEE, food, energy and environment. These are the priorities. Food is the basic thing. Nobody should be deprived of food. But of course, India being an agriculture country, so we have been producing a lot of food grains. So today, if you see why the government came out with this FCI rice allocation to the distilleries. So almost 1 year, 2 year old stock was actually getting rotten in the FCI godowns. Very good quality rice, but they have excess. It cannot be made fit for human consumptions because it is very old, 2 years, 3 years old. And that is one reason they came out. So they will just take out all the, the spoiled rice. So then, in India, Indian government is very conservative, whether in the last 3 decades, 4 decades. So they always maintain a strategic food reserve. Over and above whatever it is they export, and sometimes they give it to the industry. So earlier also they were giving it to the distilleries who are making liquor in Punjab, Haryana, but now they decided to give it. Then they quickly stopped when they realized that they are not going to get a lot of grains, for the procurement because of the drought. So secondly, basically, instead of educating the others or the people or mass, so first we all should educate ourselves what we want to promote. So today, if anyone asks me that I should promote rice to ethanol, I will say no. So maybe today we have excess for 1 or 2 years, then we can use it, and instead of wasting, we can use it. But as a long-term sustainability feedstock, no one should talk about rice. So similarly, we can look at the feedstocks which don't require a lot of water. Like sugarcane is not a right feedstock. So instead now the government, even in the US also, why they went with corn is mainly because it is not competing with your food, it is not consuming a lot of water. So only thing, they are having some very strict control. 40% of the land is reserved for GMO corn, so they are able to produce it there and use it for the ethanol. Whereas here we cannot control GMO. So we are not able to promote GMO. But eventually everyone is now trying hard to increase the yield per hectare of the corn and starch content in the corn and byproduct from corn. So something will really happen, and the industry will adapt to the feedstock which are not going to compete with food grain. This is what we believe. So because our farmers are very smart, they are very capable. We have a lot of farmers. They are going to grow something is bought by the factories rather than selling it to the middleman. So that is one very positive we have. We have already seen it in Bihar. We have seen it in Karnataka. So no ethanol plant is stopped because the government has stopped sugarcane or government has stopped food grains. So they are still going with corn. So then the second question, it's very controversial, but I must answer. Actual cost of production of petrol is less than 50 rupees. So today government is giving average 60 rupees for ethanol, and ethanol you have some lesser energy. So you can say it is as strong as 80% of the gasoline. So you are actually subsidizing 15 rupees for the ethanol. So, but of course, petrol price goes up to 100 rupees, 100 plus because of all the taxes, everything. Of course, the infrastructure development, managing the country, salaries, you also need a lot of GST. So this is added over there. But actual cost of production is 50 rupees at 60, 70 rupees, $70 per, barrel of the crude. Yeah.
Can I take this question, sir?
Yes, sir.
Good evening. I am Debopam from AGI Miltech, Bangalore. First of all, thank you to the Regreen team for the invite. I'm very honored to be here as a part of the AGI team and as a part of the vendors group with Excel Regreen. Yeah. Our association with Excel Regreen is rather nascent, but I'm looking forward to a sustained and a growing partnership. Yeah. You made a couple of very interesting points as with regard to the feedstock, the raw material. Now, this year also happens to be the international year for millets, and there's a lot of push on millets being grown, being consumed, being produced.
Yeah.
Do you look at millets, any of those millets, of the 11 millets, to be a sustainable form of a feedstock for the ethanol industry, sir?
We have plenty of bajra in Rajasthan in those areas. So in the past, the bajra was used, of course not as 100%, but 50% bajra and 50% broken rice used by the distilleries. So the only challenge with bajra is bajra has very less protein as compared to rice or corn. It has got very less protein, and when we do the cattle feed, because the final byproduct is a cattle feed. That's how we achieve the ZLD in grain ethanol. So that is not sellable because it has got very low protein. So in corn we get 30% protein in the cattle feed. In the rice we get 40 plus. In bajra we get only 15%. So selling that, the DDGS is a challenge. So otherwise, the distilleries are used to processing this millet, bajra. Yeah.
Is jawar, sorghum, a crop which could be looked at?
Jawar is again the food, so it will be very expensive in terms of commercial.
Okay.
Then, of course, it is not that much available.
Yes. The production is kind of going up now. Over the last about a couple of years, I think the production
in the late 1990s in Maharashtra, we were doing a lot of black jawar for the distilleries. So whatever jawar is get affected because of the rains, so we were trying to process that into. So there were studies. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good evening, sir. Myself, Avdut Joshi from Brightech Valves and Controls. So we have been partner with Regreen-Excel for last few years. So there is one question, sir. One of the point that you have mentioned is that you will help us with the consultants. So one of the major issue that a good product manufacturing company, that we have a good products, but sometimes various sectors have specific consultants. So sugar has a specific consultant, ethanol has a specific consultants, and the consultant will ask for the approved vendor list. So sometimes the vendor list at the consultants, they have not yet updated in last so many years. They are using the same vendor list. So we have already supplied products to you. So there will be one more addition, maybe after the project completion, if there is a recommendation or reference from the end user as well as OEM, it will help us to get approved at the initial stage itself with the consultants. So from this event, I will take this opportunity not just to request you, but the boiler manufacturers and the other senior people to help a really good manufacturing company, MSME, for the approvals from the consultants.
I think thank you. You are right there, because we understand the pain of trying to enter the market, convince the consultants, customers, technical people to approve our company or the brand. So even today also we face problem when we go, of course not in India, but abroad when you go, we have to convince the overseas consultants to approve us as a vendor. So it is always a challenge. So even few questions, few conferences, so I started talking a little bit, something like a devil's advocate on behalf of all of you. That once I had mentioned in a sugar conference that, if you ask, say, 3 performance certificates from me, that I cannot produce because I want to start the, references with you. So if the same question was asked to Wright brothers, today we would not have the aeroplane. So he could not have produced 3 certificates of flying. So when he did the first flight. So basically this is a challenge, but of course, like we are happy now, a lot of these companies, consultant, they have also, changed a lot in their mindset. So like few examples I can give you. If I say that I have done 5 projects in UP, they will say, what projects you have done in Maharashtra? I said, I have done projects in UP, 5 projects, similar capacity, similar. Then if I say that I have done a project in, say, Baramati, they will ask, your project is not there in Kolhapur. So all these questions we have gone through it. Even today also some places we are facing. So these are very common. So, but basically what we should do is, our team led by Tushar Patil, we are keen that, we identify the vendor, we try to, request consultants to approve those vendors. And they will go through some formalities of their own. But now they are more open, so we are happy to help you out with, a lot of good consultants to approve your product. So there is no issue. And of course, now the job has become much easier because a lot of other industry investors are investing in ethanol. So they are very open-minded and more fast to accept new innovation, new products, new vendors. So it is much easier. Yeah. We'll definitely take this initiative on behalf of everyone. Yeah. Okay, that's it then. So if anytime if you find anything want to know from me, so I'm very open, so we can share a lot of information. So thank you all. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra.
Excuse me, sir.
Sir, just one final question. My name is Amay Indy. I am from Inditech Valves. So as everyone, all the audience members definitely agree that your company has got phenomenal growth in the last 4 to 5 years. So as an entrepreneur, I would just like to ask you, what would you say are your mantras or secrets of success that you would like to pass on to any fellow entrepreneurs about how to really achieve and sustain it on a consistent basis, the phenomenal growth that you really had? And I think majority of the audience members would like to hear the answers. So
basically, in our experience, that if you have the right product, right technology, which is required by the industry, so like you may have a very good product, but if that is not required by the industry, then you won't be able to convince the industry or the investor. You need to have the right product and right technology, which is going to ultimately save. Because L1 card will help you to get 1 or 2 projects, but you cannot sustain, keep on getting. So even though if you develop a good technology product, which will help a lot of saving in the OPEX, it may be expensive in terms of your costing, but definitely it will be very difficult to also promote and sell that product. But eventually once you do that, then if you prove on the field that that is better than the existing product in the market, definitely you will grow. So that is the only card. So otherwise it's very difficult to by recommendation, by pleading, and you may get 1 or 2 projects, but you may not sustain. Because today the Indian contest, not only in our industry, in many other industry, because now I am exposed to steel mill owners, chemical manufacturers, so they all need technology. India is looking for better technology. Those days have gone that somebody will do cheaper product and customer will buy it and he will produce any bad quality product. Even for example, rice mill, today all contact pads has to be SS304. So earlier, people were just using GI or they are using mild steel, powder coated. So now the quality and the technology, these two will really help all of us to get the business, continue growing, and this is the only mantra I would say. Yeah. Okay, thank you all, sir. Thank you for all lively questions.
I would like to call upon Sandeep for giving the vote of thanks and end the seminar today.
सर्वांना मी मराठीत सांगतो सगळ्यांना. सर्वप्रथम सगळ्यांचे आभार मानतो आणि सर्वप्रथम मी अभिनंदन करतो की रेग्रीन-एक्सेलचे आमचे आदरणीय सन्माननीय CMD सर आणि यांनी जे अलौकिक प्रमाणे आपल्या भारत देशामध्ये जे काम केलं इथेनॉलच्या इंडस्ट्रीजमध्ये ते एक अलौकिकच आहे. आणि जसे आपण म्हण आहे ना मराठीमध्ये किंवा हिंदीमध्ये न भूतो न भविष्यती, तसं हे काम केलेलं आहे. आणि तसेच मी येथे जमलेल्या सर्व छोट्या मोठ्या, आता मराठीत हे बोलावं लागतं मला, स्मॉल आणि बिग, छोट्या मोठ्या जे सप्लायर आहेत, वेंडर आहेत, या सर्वांचे वेळात वेळ काढून तुम्ही आला आहात आणि योगदान दिलं आणि इनडायरेक्टली डायरेक्टली या बिझनेसमध्ये येऊन पार्टिसिपेट झालात, इथून इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये ग्रोईंग केलं. आणि देशाची अभिमानास्पद बात एक आहे की तुम्ही इकॉनॉमिकल ग्रोईंग केली सगळ्यांनी मिळून, याबद्दल सर्वांचं मनापासून आभार. तसंच काही लोक म्हणतात ना की इतिहास मला घडवायचा आहे, पण इतिहास जे लोक घडवतात, जे ध्येयवेडे असतात तेच इतिहास घडवतात. असे आमचे सर, यांना मी मानात मुजरा करतो आणि सर्वांचं एक अभिनंदन करतो, आभारी मानतो. जशी उडत्या पाखरांना आकाशात झेप घेतात आणि तमाना असावी, तशी आमच्या सरांचं एक अलौकिक कार्य आहे. आणि जे काही इथं घडलेलं आहे किंवा जे काही अनएक्सपेक्टेड ज्यांना वाटले नसेल की आपण इथे काहीतरी करतोय किंवा यायचं आहे, सरांनी संघटित केलं, याबद्दल सगळ्यांचं आभार मनापासून. तसेच ज्यांनी इथं येण्यासाठी जी काय मेहनत घेतली, इवन आमचे पूर्ण प्रोजेक्ट डायरेक्टर असतील, टीम असेल, साईट इंजिनियर्स असतील, रिजनल मॅनेजर असतील आणि ऑफिस स्टाफ असेल, हॉटेलचे ओनर असतील, हॉटेलचे पूर्ण टीम असेल, साऊंड सिस्टीमवाले असतील, स्टेज डेकोरेशन शो ज्यांनी केला, डिझाईन केला, त्याला गाईडलाईन दिली आमच्या सरांनीच दिलेली आहे, त्यांची सगळ्यांचं मनापासून आभार. आणि शेवटचं सांगतो की सर्वांसाठी जे काय आपण कॉकटेल डिनर केलेलं आहे, आयोजित केलेलं आहे आणि जेवणाची पण सुविधा केलेली आहे, सर्वांनी मनसोक्त आस्वाद घ्यावा. आणि जाता जाता एकच सांगतो की जे काय गिफ्ट आम्ही ठेवलेलं आहे ते कलेक्ट करून जावं. सर्वांनी इथं आलात, वेळ काढलात, परत एकदा सर्वांचं आभार आभार आभार.
Gracias.